I've been looking at a lot of old video cameras that use pickup tubes like this one here, light sensitive surface, vacuum tube, but now we can look at some old cameras that use CCDs. We're going to start to, we've got a couple to choose from. There's this National WVP-F10, but we're going to save that because there's two of those, so we can have a good go at least one of them. Save that till next time. Instead, we've got something even bigger and better and more exciting. This thing. This one is, it's multiple things, it's a collection of things, but I'm guessing it's a WVP-F10. More like studio configurable focused camera. Oh yeah, here we go. Does that tell us? Yeah, WVP-F10, a system camera. And it's got various attachments and things on it. And this can be put into, by depending on what you attach to it, it goes into various configurations like portable shoulder mount or studio style with other monitors on top of it, and you can change the lens and all sorts of exciting things. So let's explore this, see what it's got, what it can do, and we'll try it out, see if it works, and then we'll take it apart, see what's inside. Okay, so to start with, I think, yeah, look at that. This is, see, that just came off there. There's a connector on the bottom. This is a shoulder shoulder pad, which you can noisily adjust the position of. There's this button here to release it from the camera, and that slides so that it can like plug in and then engage. That's an Omron, like, I don't know, 2.54 pitch IDC style connector, though it seems to have a FPC coming off of it. And this adds, at the front end, this adjustable handle. I don't think you can do it like that, like a normal camera, because you can't get to the trigger, which is there. So it folds down. And you get zoom control and the record start stop. Oh, look, this thing here is a WVGR12. I guess that's grip, and then it's got on here some extra controls: fade, record review, an unmarked switch, and then another little door. Oh, look at that. That's got a play, cue, review, pause, or still, slow motion, something like that. And then some titling stuff. Title, date, time, negative, positive, record, shift, sequence, set. So maybe this has a titling device in it, or it's a remote control for what's already in the camera. So that's good, and not having that attached gets rid of a lot of the bulk of this thing. The next piece we've got is on the back here. It's a National Genlock adapter. It's WVAD36, and that similarly comes off. There's the record polarity. The camera is getting quite small now, so all that is just for the Genlock. I wonder if that will have that same kind of sync box thing that we saw inside the G1 camera recently, because it has the same kind of horizontal phase and subcarrier phase controls there for configuring the Genlock input, and it's got the same things there: Genlock input, video output, standard XLR power connector for 12 volts, And then choose where the power supply is coming from, external or the SEG, the special effects generator. And that's got a standard, or standard to National Panasonic 10-pin camera plug to this kind of small version that's on a bunch of their cameras. And that's all you get on that. And yeah, this multi-way is like DIN style connector. DIN something rather standard. Now, presumably there's a blank plate thing that will go in there to cover that up if you're not using it. It is interesting that they use the pin side on the camera. But maybe that makes sense because the power can come in there, so you want that to be a socket. Now we get a pretty fancy looking microphone there. Plugs into int mic, but you get the option which is stereo. And it's still intact foam, which is nice. And then you got some other connectors there. So that's external microphone mono or left channel 1, and then external microphone channel right, channel 2 and right, and then an earphone socket, and then there's another like VTR connector. They call it VTR. Just get that out of the way. I think someone's put some foam under there to help it be good, I guess. So there's another VTR connector, which fits the same cable. I think this is where the cable was plugged in when I found this today, knocking about. And then there's an external or VTR power selector. So I guess when you put on external, then it's expecting power to come from here. Now there is a warning about not pointing this thing at the sun. Fair enough. There's a viewfinder connector. There's a whole row of connectors here. We've got EVF camera remote there. Ooh, it's got a post in the middle. And then below that we've got title, which I think has the same type of connector. Interesting. And then below that there's pan tilt, which is a 5-pin kind of thing, and then there's a lens connector, and that's all kind of gooey and sticky because as these cables go in their old age. Whoa, that's got heaps of pins on it. Lens connector. CCD in there, and then the top there's a viewfinder EVF mounted there. Ah, look, and that also has a connector on it on the top. This does seem to be, and that's broken, it's been taped on, but does this come off of here? I'm sure it will. Oh yeah, look, there's a little lever there, which I guess will make it come off. What does it do? Don't know. But yeah, that's a WVP-F10 viewfinder. National branding on that. Little CRT in there. Interesting, there is a connector on the top of the camera. It goes to that, which looks like it goes to that. Oh look, that comes off. Oh, that's cunning. That looks like the white balance sensor. So that unplugs so that you can put it like that. Ah, so if you're not using this handle, really, is that what they're doing there? Interesting. So this camera module, there's another little thing there. Oh, maybe that's a back focus, something we're not supposed to adjust there. Interesting. Ah yes, look, this here, this little badge, that's also a door that opens up, and that's got some red and blue gain knobs, a AAA battery holder thing with corrosion on the terminals, a little restraining peg thing, and then there's an audio level control switch down in there, -20 or -60 dB. That's cunning, isn't it? Hide it behind a little door. And on this side, oh, there's another little door. That's got color phase, normal or SES, whatever that means, level indicator on and off, which I think shows the light level in the viewfinder. Now, there's a little bit of concern here because you can see the hinges of this door have got some kind of nasty looking corrosion on them. This potentially hints at trouble inside this thing. This we'll find out when we go to turn it on. And then, final things, we got a white balance set button, and I think that's AWC, ATW. Don't know. I thought that's something to do with white balance. And there's an auto gain control, AGC, off, low, high. And there's an auto iris or manual if you move it away from the center to close it or open it. And then the standby on switch. Yeah, not a momentary control, actual switch. Quite loose. Finally, we've got a lens. 12 times lens, 1 to 1.6. So f1.6 for that small sensor size. 10.5 to 126mm TV zoom, model number WVLZ14/12E, made in Japan, and so that's a manual focus lens, but powered zoom, and it's got a macro control, put it into the macro range, and it's got this pull out manual thing. I'm not really sure what that disengages though, unless there's an iris. Oh yeah, there is an iris in there. You can see it shutting there. Okay, so that's auto manual iris. Interesting. And then there's also an auto manual switch here, which, oh yeah, that's for the zoom. So if you put it on M, it becomes a lot easier to turn than when you put it on A. You can hear it engage when you do that. A little click as you bump that. Okay, that's pretty neat. Let's try this thing out. Red dot, red mark. Clicks into place. Plug that in. Pretty cunning, that white balance annator 8-pin connector. Oh, okay, is that, yeah, if it works right, there's a little button there which you can see, and it does not want to push down, but if you can get it to push down, it's extending that clip out. So there's a kind of ramp in problem, so that holds that on nice and secure. The viewfinder, as we saw, has some kind of release lever. I guess it moves a little notch thing down in the track there, so that should click back into place. Maybe. Oh yeah, there you go. We'll put this back thing on, and we'll give this thing a bit of a blast to see. Oh, should we plug this in as well? We've got to test it with all the trimmings. Okay, so I'm going to use the trusty this thing, AC adapter, which has got the camera 10-pin camera plug on it and has power the camera from AC transformer in here to make the 12 volts, and then it's got the video audio out, so we'll hook that up so we can have a look at it. Hook up the camera cable to there. We'll try it there first, see what happens. Hook that onto there. Now plug in this adapter. Now just see if my video overlay will work, because it kept not working for some reason. And how do we know if that's working again, or is it going to be silly and not work? Well, it's got composite chosen, so should do. It seems to be defaulting back to HDMI or DVI or something. Let's see, what do we need to do here? We got that set to VTR as the power source, which then we plugged it into the VTR connector. That there we need to get turned to on position. Let's power this up. Oh, looks like it's already going. So it says it's on standby and it lights red. Let's put it to on and see what happens. Oh yeah, look at that. Just goes. Just right off the bat. Let's see, will power zoom work? Yes. Makes a bit of noise. I'm going to focus on close-up things. We probably need to put it in macro. Try the white balance setting. Oh yeah, that's pretty good. Is a good enough color chart to test it. It's not as vibrant. Maybe that's because it's a broadcast quality, so it needs a bit of a boost when you're editing or whatever you do with the footage. And try this manual iris. And yeah, look at that. Does what it says it should. And there's also the automatic gain control. Oh yeah, look at that. You can gain it up a bit, make it a bit more vibrant. You can see some vibes. There's some stuff going on in there. I guess the auto white balance doesn't like that. Maybe that's what that other switch does. I think so. Maybe. This looks like a good unit. We could try this stuff in here. Does the title button do anything? Oh look, negative positive actually makes the picture negative. There we go, look at that. 1986. That's quite exciting, isn't it? A negative image. Lovely. This will show something that is more or less black and white in the first place. Well, it means that red thing will go kind of green. The power LED on the power supply. Yeah, look at that. It's now a green LED. A small circuit board. Goes whatever color that is. It's the inside of that display port adapter. Yeah, it's now a red circuit board. That display port amplifier adapter thing I was trying to use with those fiber cables. Yeah, I've opened it up and rigged it up so you can get power into it. Still will not work with Big Screen Beyond, the fiber display port extender, but it did work with a monitor when I tested it, although I didn't test it with a monitor and this adapter, so there's still a possibility that when you introduce this adapter it's not working, so more experimentation needed. Anyway, that's sidetracked. There's a negative positive thing you can do. There's also a fade here, although that probably requires the VCR. I don't know, push the start stop. Fades in and out, pretty nice. Oh yeah, the unmarked switch. Okay, what about up here? Although there's SES or normal. Huh. Do you know what SES means? Level indicator. I don't know. The viewfinder does work. It says backup flashing in it. And record, so maybe it's in record mode now. Yeah, so it needs its backup battery apparently. I didn't think there was any other things to do, was there? So it says power on the back as well. Maybe we should try powering it from the back. Just put it to standby. We'll unplug this from the side and we'll plug it into this back connector. And then we'll switch this to external and push to on. Oh yeah, look at that. Great. We could also try, was that really matters at all, but plugging the video signal into the video output connector on the back here. Oh yeah, look at that. Works perfectly. I'm just noticing this oops, the random details. Ohm's law. I equals V times R. I equals V over R. What is that little dot thing? Alright then. Great, let's take this thing apart. That's what we came here for, wasn't it? Get into the exciting bits. Although maybe not much is going to happen, is it? Because the actual taking apart bit is just that little module in the middle. Okay, let's get this a little bit less unwieldy. I guess we'll take the lens off to get that out of the way. And the top and the handle and everything. And the back. Okay. Massive lens cap. Yeah, pretty big quality lens there. It's got a pretty good decent zoom range on it. Okay, we'll save this bit for a moment. Let's tear into this thing, see if it has anything different to what we saw in the G1 camera. Doesn't feel that heavy. 4 screws around this edge here. This is some kind of semi-professional camera. It's not professional, otherwise it would have like component or RGB outputs, and it would have XLR for audio rather than little phono mini jack things. Whoa, look at that. That is a bit different, and it's interesting because look, that back part there is a die cast thing which they then got a transistor on. You can see how that works with a that connector spring-loaded mount thing. There's the little spring hanging in there, and then a double-sided flex board with a bunch of like layer transitions on it. That's pretty weird, isn't it? I wonder why it needs that. Is that because they couldn't find the space to rearrange the pins on the main board there? A little bit unusual. Also, look, there's hardly anything installed on this. That's just all nothing. It's got pads and paste and everything, but no actual thingaminiuses. Huh. Yeah, what's that? Some kind of mush? Don't know, it's some kind of brown goo. Bit weird. So maybe there's a fancier version of this which does more things, because yeah, there's a lot of positions for parts there and not a lot of parts, and most of the parts are on this like sub-module thing. It also looks very kind of hand soldered, or maybe someone's touched it up. Maybe it was dodgy. Oh, that's what that brown stuff is, isn't it? Someone using flux to touch it up. Weird. It's a really thin, double-sided, through-hole plated board. Just with barely anything on it. A little bit in the back there. That is weird. Is it weird? I don't know. Surprisingly unpopulated board, but otherwise not really that remarkable. Okay, we'll pop this little guy back together. All nicely corroded around the edge there. Lovely. Maybe this has been used in a damp environment. You can see the corrosion on these screw heads as well. Unless my environment is damp. Shouldn't be, it's fairly warm and closed off. Okay, let's get into the main unit. I wonder about this microphone bracket. I guess it's been snapped or something. It's just so weird that it's got that foam thing on it. Strange. Now, does this undo something useful? Oh yeah. The little surround from that switch. Yeah, that looks pretty crusty as well, doesn't it? This is full of crust. Well, it's just a single-sided board, so it looks a bit basic. And there's the connection from the VTR connector. And here's the two core shielded there, which be the stereo audio, And then a single core shielded there, must be the video signal. Pretty good. A shielding plate. A bunch of other connectors. Well, that's dodgy, isn't it? The lens one is kind of ripping off. The lens has got a really thick double-sided like flex board, but it seems like it's peeling itself off. This was just like that to start with, because I don't know, it'd have to be ripping the pins out to do that. I think we can pull it out very easily to investigate. Wow, it's just connectors in there. And really gross glue, double-sided tape business. I think it's just like that. It doesn't appear to be ripped out. Interesting. Oh look, there's double-sided stuff on there, of course. Probably the op amps for the audio, like the preamps for the microphone inputs, and probably a headphone amp thing for the headphone output. Okay, that just attaches in there all easily and good. Oh yeah, look at that, there's a thicker red and black wire there for the 12 volt power. Oh no, that is all kind of in the way, isn't it? Yeah, that's all nice. I guess we can put this all back. Wait, what's going on there? Why is the camera not working today? It's very disappointing, isn't it? I'll try rebooting it. Okay. Sometimes you have to turn things off and on again. That screw is reamed out. So is that one. Alright. It looks like, yeah, that whole side would come off. I wonder if we've messed that up by putting this back together. I don't know. Let's take the other side off. Well, I don't really know what to take off because it's not obvious, but it looks like the side will come off. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, maybe that side would have come off too, but we'd have to take all those wires out. Whoa, look at that. Maybe that's all you need to take off. This looks like a card frame. A bit crunchy under there. Some grit coming out of this thing. Okay. Let's see what happens. Oh, look at the interesting power LED there. It's like a lying down LED with this little post thing coming out of it for the light to shine. Interesting style. I don't want to destroy this camera too much because it's interesting and good still. I'll just destroy it a little bit. Guess this is a little box that's got the CCD business inside it. Oh yeah. Yeah, it looks like the CCD is in there and this flex cable comes out of it and goes into this board. You'll have all the processing business in it. Now, do these come out? Oh, look at that, it's a double-sided switch. How exciting is that? See, it's got actuators on two sides. That's great. You're not sure if it comes out. Should we take all this other stuff off this whole housing thing to see what's going on? Not sure if we really need to, but let's just do it anyway, just to see for the lols. Yeah, this might all be one unit, that side thing that we already put back together. Whatever that means. Oh, that's a different type of screw. Yeah, that's annoying. Okay. Now, is this going to do anything? I don't think this is going to just come apart, is it? Because we already put that other side back on. We don't really want to take it apart again. I'm thinking, are these boards soldered in? in which case we won't be able to look at them anyway, even if we do get the board out. They're still going to be packed together, like that JVC camera, which was a row of boards. The little compact white JVC camera, big row of boards, little boards, all tightly packed together, soldered in place, no sockets, so you couldn't access them. A little bit frustrating? I don't know. Anyway, that's what is in there. Like 1, 2, 3, 4 main boards full of good stuff, and they're plugged into a backplane, which will be the backplane that we saw the back of in here, which had a whole bunch of connectors in coming up to going onto all these connectors, and then there was a little adjustment wheel which would be engaging on that and would be racking the pickup, that inner bit there, back and forth to set the back focus, so you can properly set up different lenses and get them to focus correctly, so that you move the sensor back and forward so that you can get this focusing scale to read correctly, because it will be like very slight variations in the lenses, or you've adapted one from a different camera. Right, I think we'll just put it back together because I don't want to destroy this one, and that's probably where we're heading by trying to rip these boards out. Okay, now why are there 4 screws? Oh, 2 of them for this board, 2 of them for this cover here. It has little tabs bent up from it, and there are little edges of the board with like little plated edges, so that must be meant to push against the board to connect the ground plane of the board up to this enclosure. It does seem to be sprung somehow, or we're pushing. Oh, it's that ribbon, isn't it? The flex cable that comes from the CCD. Okay, this little board with the controls. Interesting, very open style variable resistor there. I wonder what that does. It's not brought out to the front. Oh, that's difficult, isn't it? We're going to have to be careful to get that switch in the right place. Guess we can make it click better. Yeah, so we didn't see the source of the corrosion on that little side door thing. I think it's just the little hinge springy things. Does that come off? And if we bend those little arms down, it's all dusty in there. Now it makes a nice positive click. Right, I think we can just put it back together, can't we? Yes, those little post thingies. Yeah, that feels great now. There's some grounding there to this back panel from the shielded cans. And there's also some of that business. Yeah, from the top middle part onto whatever that is, I guess. I don't know what that even touches. Something between those. We'll just take its word for it. There's a little like tripod style thread there, so I guess there's other stuff you can mount on the back using that. What a nice little unit. Say that about 20 times. We've got to put back this microphone mount. Should we get rid of that weird foam thing? Yeah, it is cracked. I don't see how that foam would have helped. Maybe it's just to reduce handling noise. Weird. Lens. Let's, as a final parting gift, we'll take a look inside the viewfinder, and we're also going to try this out again just to make sure everything's great. Not really expecting many surprises inside this. It's going to be just like what we saw in all the other ones, probably, but let's find out. It is interesting that it's got a protrusion there. The tube must be long. Oh, look at all that good stuff. So it's a type of tube that has the anode connection going in the back, not one that has the anode cap on the side. Oh yeah, look at that. It's one of those kind of chips that does all the dealing for you. 2510S. And there's a little subboard there as well, which does some of the dealings. So there's a couple of wires there. A shielded wire. Actually 2 shielded wires. And then 3 other wires. And maybe there's a video and a sync. 3 wires, green, grey, orange, and that blue one comes out of the shielded cable, and then that one there with the clear insulated core, that's probably the video signal. Little flyback transformer thing, and some other kind of business in a little metal case. Great! Superb unit. And there must be some kind of clip that was holding it down. Yeah, that, and around there, and that. That has caved in, unfortunately. That's not good, is it? Okay. It's a bit sad that that's broken off because it's all sticky and horrible now where the tape has been. Shame, really. A lot of things are sticky and horrible these days, like especially these types of wires. Alright, let's pop this back on and go to the microphone. Pretty fancy. You can see it's got that notch in it there to prevent you from putting it around the wrong way because it's a stereo microphone. That ridge there. So that's good. And then a little handle shoulder base thing. Successfully engaged. Now, I'm just going to get those cables back and we'll just try turning it on for one last time. See. Just make sure it's still good. Let's see. Engage. Great, look at that. Still in top order. Tip-top shape. Just what you need. Do you find it still great? Excellent. So there you go. That's nice, sort of brief-ish look through this National WV-F10. It was WV, wasn't it? WVP-F10 CCD color video camera from around 86-ish, according to the on-screen date. Hopefully that was interesting, and stick around. Next time we'll probably take one of these F2 cameras apart, and we'll take it apart severely since I've got 2 of them, so it's well positioned for taking apart. So stay tuned for that.